Dennis Rader BTK. Dennis Rader BTK. Andrei Chikatilo.
Timothy McVeigh.
Perhaps most notorious for his military career, Timothy McVeigh was convicted of the Oklahoma City bombing that killed 168 people and wounded more than 600 others. He was sentenced to death by lethal injection in 2001. McVeigh was highly interested in firearms and weaponry and graduated from the U. Army Infantry School. He served in the U. Army and was a decorated soldier who served in the Gulf War and Operation Desert Storm. He was discharged in 1991 after his failure to join the United States Army Special Forces due to his unsuitable psychological profile. More Timothy McVeigh 1516 of 2443, the most influential people of all time 14 of 15, the most elaborate final meals in death row history 13 of 13 killers who were caught because they got sloppy. Dean Corll. What can be creepier than a serial killer known as the Candyman from 1970 to 1973 before he was murdered himself? Corll murdered at least 28 boys whom he abducted, raped, and tortured. Corll's family owned a candy factory in Texas where he worked as a young boy and eventually became the vice president. Corll was also drafted in the U.S. Army in 1964, where he trained as a radio repairman. Though Corll's military record was pristine, he reportedly hated military service and applied for a hardship discharge on the basis of being needed within his family's candy business. He was granted an honorable discharge after 10 months of service in 1965.
Dennis Nilsen.
Often described as the British Jeffrey Dahmer, Dennis Nilsen was a serial killer in London who committed the murders of 15 young men. Prior to his killing spree, Nilsen joined the British Army and enlisted in the Army Catering Corps, where he became a cook and served for 11 years. He earned a General Service Medal before he was discharged, at his own request, in 1972. More Dennis Nilsen 11 of 15 we asked, you answered. Which serial killer would you most like? See a new biographical movie made 2 of 10 what parents of serial killers have said about their offspring 11 of 20 highly disturbing letters from serial killers.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Murdered 17 men and boys between 1978 and 1991. He was convicted of 15 of the murders and sentenced to life in prison in 1992. Or Jeffrey Dahmer 32 of 130 famous American serial killers, 3 of 61 the scariest serial killers in history, 2 of 11 we asked, you answered. Which serial killer, living or dead, would you want to be pen pals with? Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer.
David Berkowitz, the son of Sam.
David Berkowitz was a New York City serial killer who was arrested in 1977 for a series of shooting attacks with a .44 caliber revolver. In more than a year, Berkowitz murdered 6 victims and wounded 7 others while terrorizing New York City with acts of arson. Prior to his killing spree, an 18-year-old Berkowitz enlisted in the U.S. Army in 1971 and was honorably discharged after serving in the U.S. and South Korea.
Hey guys, thank you so much for the support and likes and comments down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you